Yeah. Mic check 1, 2. This is Thomas on the air. Pulling back the curtains, truth is laid bare. No fake smiles, no filters, no disguise. Just a raw reflection in your mind's eyes. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. They say the world's gone crazy, twisted and strange, but wisdom lasts through every kind of change. Step up, wake up, take control of the fight. We're breaking chains with every word we write. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid back beats and baseline. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Yeah, yeah. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Yeah. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid back beats and a smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Yeah. Yeah. Yo. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Yeah. Mic check 1, 2. This is Thomas on the air. Pulling back the curtains, truth is laid bare. No fake smiles, no filters, no disguise. Just a raw reflection in your mind's eyes. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. They say the world's gone crazy, twisted and strange, but wisdom lasts through every kind of change. Step up, wake up, take control of the fight. We're breaking chains with every word we write. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brother, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid back beat through smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Yeah, yeah. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Yeah. Brother, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Phase with a confident cadence, supported by laid back beats and a smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Yeah. Yeah. Yo. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Yeah. Mic check 1, 2. This is Thomas on the air. Pulling back the curtains, truth is laid bare. No fake smiles, no filters, no disguise. Just a raw reflection in your mind's eyes. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. They say the world's gone crazy, twisted and strange, but wisdom lasts through every kind of change. Step up, wake up, take control of the fight. We're breaking chains with every word we write. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid back beat through smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Yeah, yeah. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Yeah. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid-back beats and a smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Yeah. 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 Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Yeah. Mic check 1, 2. This is Thomas on the air. Pulling back the curtains, truth is laid bare. No fake smiles, no filters, no disguise. Just a raw reflection in your mind's eyes. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. They say the world's gone crazy, twisted and strange, but wisdom lasts through every kind of change. Step up, wake up, take control of the fight. We're breaking chains with every word we write. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid-back beat through smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Yeah, yeah. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Yeah. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid-back beats and a smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Yeah. 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 Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Yeah. Mic check 1, 2. This is Thomas on the air. Pulling back the curtains, truth is laid bare. No fake smiles, no filters, no disguise. Just a raw reflection in your mind's eyes. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. They say the world's gone crazy, twisted and strange, but wisdom lasts through every kind of change. Step up, wake up, take control of the fight. We're breaking chains with every word we write. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your head.
What's going on, everybody? We are back with another live stream. I just gotta make sure that the sound is working. There we go. Shout out to everybody. I had to wear my Phillies hat because we're playing tonight at 9:30. So I'm definitely going to be watching the Phillies play tonight. And tonight's show, we're going to talk about why women reject you. Why do women reject you as a man? And a lot of men, they don't get why women reject them. They claim that, oh, it's because I look this way, I don't look this way, I dress this way, I don't act this way. But tonight, we're going to discuss why you keep getting rejected by women. And we're going to get deep into the reason why you get rejected. But before we get into any of that, I need you to do me a favor and click that like button. Because it'll help the algorithm and it'll help the channel grow.
Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, get it, get it, get it, get it, ow, ow.
Now that you've hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and then tickle that notification bell so that you can know whenever I go live or upload any videos. So now, we're not even going to do anything further than to go straight into the show because I have a lot to cover and not a lot of time to do it. But we're going to get into it. We're going to start with an old video of mine. We're going to start. Sometimes as a YouTuber, you look back on your old videos and you're like, well, daggone it, that was me. I recorded that. But I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying. This video of mine was recorded at least a year and a half to 2 years ago, but the principles are still the same.
Losers.
Hold on.
Men?
There we go.
A lot of men?
This is an old video. This is an old video of mine. I found it because I was going through my TikTok and I was looking at videos of mine that I can use for tonight's live stream. And this one actually came up in TikTok's feed. So I was like, why not use myself, right? So are you an incel or a beta male? because all of this is going to connect together.
A lot of men, you're just losers.
I was rough. I'm still rough now, but I was super rough when I was recording this video.
Incels, beta males, MGTOWs that cannot get women, and you're blaming women for your own issue.
There you go. You're blaming women for your own issues. That's what we see today when we talk about women. We talk about women. We talk about, what is this thing now? There we go. We talk about women, but we don't talk about men. This is an equal opportunity channel. So if we're going to talk about the issues of women, we also have to talk about the issues of men. It's not that the woman doesn't like you. It's the fact that you're a loser and a socially awkward beta male, and you don't know how to talk to people. Yeah, I said it. You're a loser. You are a loser. That is why women run from you like Roadrunner would always run from Wile E. Coyote. Women are repulsed by you because you're a socially awkward beta male incel. And my issue with men and men in general is that all of these beta males and incels, they like to talk about things that they have no experience in. Like, how are you going to tell me how to get a woman and you've never felt the touch of a woman a day in your life? You can't. There's no way that you're going to tell me how to get a woman and you've never felt the touch of a woman. You've never felt a woman's touch. You've never been intimate with a woman. You've never seen a woman in her birthday suit. And you want to get online and gaslight and tell me and other men about what women do and what women are and how women act. And you're a beta male loser. Like, get out of here. Somebody needs to share this video with that incel page on not Facebook, but there's an incel page on Twitter. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna share this live stream with the incel page on Twitter, because these incels have just gotten out of control. And if you're a socially awkward guy, there's nothing wrong with that. But what there is something wrong with is that you're trying to tell women how to get, you're trying to tell men. There we go. I'm gonna share it on one more page. Here we go. 1 second. Because the incels need, here we go. There we go. So hopefully we get some incels in here, because this show is also for them. Like, you're an incel beta male and you're talking to men, trying to convince them of how women act, move, and operate, and then you have no experience. So let's continue with the video.
And you've become that way over time. Like, nobody is born a loser. You become a loser. And the reason why I say this is because there are so many men out there that just don't get it. They don't take no for an answer. They don't understand women. They don't have game. They don't.
There we go. They don't have game. We're going to talk about game because a lot of these incels or a lot of these beta males and why women reject you is because you don't have game. You don't have game. That's why a lot of women reject you. It's not because of the woman, it's because you don't have game. You don't have game. You don't have the gift of gab. You don't have the ability to talk to women because you're so socially awkward that you scare women away because you're socially awkward. Let's continue.
Don't have these social skills because when you talk about game, it's deeper than just gaming up a woman. It involves your hygiene, your social skills, who you are, how do you present yourself to.
There we go. How do you present yourself? And I've said it before years ago, and I've never been proven wrong yet. The reason why you're socially awkward and the reason why you don't have confidence is because of you. It's not because of women. I'm going to ask a question. What does a woman have to do with your confidence? A random woman you don't even know, you've never met, you've never talked to. What does a woman have to do with your confidence? And my answer to that is because you're insecure about yourself. You're lacking in some area of your life. Whether you're broke, whether you live at home with your mom, whether you can't pay for a first date, and you don't have confidence because your life isn't together. If you had a complete life where you had a job, you had money saved up, you had the ability to go on a date whenever you wanted to, you had the money to buy an outfit for a date, you would not be insecure about who you are as a man because your life is together. That's where the insecurity comes from. You're a loser in real life. You're a loser online. You're a loser in these incel and beta male groups. But then you constantly complain, women reject me. Women don't like me. Women. It's not the women. It's you. You're the reason why women reject you.
World. So if you're a guy, you have no fashion sense, you present yourself to the world in a bad way, you don't have game, you have more things working against you than for you. Nice guys finish last because they're beta males or incels. They think being nice to a woman gets them a woman. I used to be a beta or an incel. I was terrible with women. But then I learned that what I was doing was incorrect, and I course corrected my behavior.
There it is. I used to be, for those of you who don't know, I used to be so horrible with women that women would run from me. I remember back in high school, there was a woman, and I've told this story multiple times. There was a beautiful white woman named Heather. and I'm not going to say her last name because I'm very private about the people that I know, but her name was Heather. And we were in school. I was a beta male back then. And what I would do to get women interested in me is I would pick up a pen, I would pen, and I would write a letter. I would write a letter to women. So this particular woman, I had a crush on her, obviously. And this woman, she was short, black hair, cute things. We were in high school back then. And apparently, when I wrote her letter, she didn't take it the way that I thought she would. And ever since then, she's just been scared of me, for lack of a better term. When we were in high school, she would literally run from me, like physically run away. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, why is she running from me? All I did was write her a letter, and I told her how much I liked her and I thought she was cute. Why are you running away? But it wasn't until I got older that I understood why she ran away. It was because I was socially awkward and a beta male back when I was in high school. That's the reason why women would run from me and play me to the left back in grade school. Because I was socially awkward, I didn't have game, I was a loser. But what I did was I didn't get bitter, I got better. See, what I did with my own circumstances is I used my experiences to get better. I didn't get better because women rejected me. I got better. Now, I don't get rejected by women like the incels and the beta males and everybody else does, that they keep crying on Twitter all day long about women. I used my experiences with women to make me into a better man. So I didn't get rejected. Now, in 2025, yo, what's up, David? What's going on, David? How are you doing? So, as I was saying, I used my own experiences to get better with women. That's me. So, continuing on with the video of what I'm trying to say. A lot of men don't want to course correct because they're comfortable. You're comfortable being at the bottom. You're comfortable being below. You're comfortable. And to really change your life makes you uncomfortable. Because it's easy to be a loser. You don't have to do anything. Nobody really pays you any attention in life. Nobody really cares about your day, how you're doing, where you're living at, what your social status is. Being a loser is easy, and being ignorant is even easier. But when you make that step to change, because when you learn that you're an incel and you're a beta male and you're a loser and you have no game and you're tired of the way that you're living now, it requires you to change who you are as a person. You literally are reconstructing yourself into a brand new person. That's all you have to do. If you want to get women, there's no rocket science to this. Like, people have all these different methods on how to get women. Oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to say this, you got to write down 5 different ways to get a woman and listen to how women talk and how women do this. It's not about the women, it's about you. If you know how to talk to people, you can talk to anyone. How do I know this? I used to work in sales for several years. Several years of my life, I worked in sales. I did furniture sales, appliance sales, electronic sales, phone sales. The only sales that I have never done is house and car. That's it. I've sold everything else. Why? Because sales teaches you how to overcome objections. What do they teach you in sales? Overcome objections. Think on your feet. Talk to people. Get to know people. Build a relationship with people. So many people, they miss the mark because they don't know how to talk to basic, everyday people. They don't know. And when I worked in sales, I learned how to talk to people. I learned how to talk to families, how to talk to husbands, wives. I even overcame the objection of, well, I gotta ask my wife or I gotta talk to my wife about it. I overcame objections. And when you learn how to talk to people, you will overcome rejection. And that's uncomfortable, that's hard, that's tedious. It is a lot easier to just remain who you are because you don't have to change. You don't have to change who you are if you stay who you are, but deep down in your heart, you don't want to be an incel. You don't want to be a MGTOW. You don't want to be a loser. You got messed up by a woman. You got taken advantage of by a woman. Whatever happened to you when you were younger, it may have been by a woman. You may have gotten blue-balled. You may have gotten led on, cheated on. And instead of you becoming better, you become bitter. And then you become an incel or a MGTOW or a beta male. And then you hate women. You cannot judge a whole populace of women by the mistakes of the ones that you dealt with. And a lot of men, y'all do it. Y'all sit there and y'all say, well, this woman blue-balled me, and this woman cheated on me, this woman and this woman, and then you do the same thing women do. Using, instead of the woman using the all men, it's the man using all women. And both sides are wrong. Both sides are wrong. And that's what we're saying. That's the whole purpose. Women don't reject you. It's not because of their standards that they're rejecting you. It's because of your social skills. It's because you don't know how to talk to people. You don't know how to interact with people. You don't know how to be around people. And see, this is what a lot of men have an issue with. We're gonna play another video, one of my favorites. Shout out to the late great Kevin Samuels. This is one of my favorite clips of him. We're not gonna play the whole clip with just the beginning part. Let's take a listen.
People who are socially awkward choose to step out of their comfort zone. They have to be in social situations to do that.
I don't understand what you're asking.
The ultimate point is the cycle.
Are you socially awkward? Right. So you're socially awkward. So how do you think this conversation is flowed?
You might have to turn up your headphones because I tried to make the video louder.
Smooth as water.
All right. If you honestly believe it is flowed smooth as water, it explains why you're in the position you're in now.
No, it does not.
Yes, it honestly does.
No, it does
You're
not.
a socially awkward, sarcastic asshole, and that's cool. That's why no one likes you. Interactions with human beings are not supposed to be this contentious. No one likes to sit around and deal with an asshole, especially an asshole who's socially awkward who thinks he's funny. That shit may work on with your action figures and your comic books, but it doesn't work in the world.
So basically what he was saying was that nobody likes a sarcastic a-hole, and that's why nobody likes him. Which is true. Nobody likes a socially awkward a-hole. And a lot of guys, they fall into that category of being socially awkward, and I understand why. You focus on IQ instead of EQ. You care more about your brain than your mouth. You can have a degree in computer science, but not have a degree in being social. So we're going to get into why socially awkward people exist. But some of y'all socially awkward beta males, y'all need this. This is what you need.
Dog. Man, that bitch loaded so bad.
Hold on. Okay, there we go. Some of y'all need that. I just want to make sure my sound is working. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. There we go. All right. So here we go. Why women reject you, and it's not their standards, it's your social skill. So I asked a question on my Twitter. For those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, head on over to Twitter right now at ThomasBland99 and give me a follow on Twitter. I asked a very good question. What is the number one reason you think women reject men? Drop your answer below. Tomorrow night, I'm breaking down the real reasons with data, and it's probably not what you think. Ready for the truth? So I was able to get 2 answers to that question. Number 1 is shout out to Beat Boop. They said that's a tough one. I'd say lack of confidence. I agree. Lack of confidence is part of the issue. Shout out to Skeptic Witch. My sister in crime said lack of physical attraction. That's another good answer. But I did some digging, and I understand why women reject you. And it's not your standards, it's your social skills. And we're going to get into the data behind it. So women reject men due to lack of social skills. This is evidence backed by women. Women have said this over and over again. Studies in relationship science literature indicate women do reject men due to a lack of social skills. They reject men due to a lack of social skills. I'm going to say that again. Women do reject men due to a lack of social skills. Though concrete statistical percentages are not widely available, good social skills, often seen as a sign of a partner who can build and maintain strong relationships, are consistently related as highly important by women. So if you don't have good social skills, this is what you get. You lose. There's nothing else we can say. If you don't have good social skills, that's what happens. You strike out every time. And social skills are not something that you can just get in a day. You have to practice. You have to put yourself out there into the world to get social skills. Evidence for rejection based on social skills. Signaling competence. Pro-sociality behaviors like kindness, generosity, and empathy is closely tied to good social skills. This is from women. This is the research that exists when it comes to men and social skills. And is strongly preferred by women. These traits signal a man's potential as a good long-term partner and a cooperative, caring father. Relationship deal breakers. Research has identified poor interpersonal traits as major deal breakers. A Psychology Today article notes that women have more relationship deal breakers than men. Observational clues. Social competence in a potential partner can often be recognized after a brief conversation. Noting traits like confidence, a sense of humor, and social skills. The socially anxious partner. Listen. One study found that compared to non-anxious individuals, socially anxious people were more likely to blame their partners for conflict and attribute problems to a stable, negative characteristic of their partner. While both anxious and non-anxious people reported similar satisfaction levels, social anxiety clearly creates relationship difficulties. So when you're in a relationship with a guy or a woman that is socially awkward, it creates a lot of issues. So it's not her attitude, it's not her standards, it's not any of that. It's because you don't know how to talk to women. That's why. You don't know how to talk to a woman. So, body language. How many of you know about body language? I want you to put a 1 in the chat right now if you're familiar with body language. Body language is very important. Why is that? 70 to 93% of all communication is nonverbal. That means body language, posture, gestures, and movements play a vital role in helping us understand how another person is feeling. You can feel angry, ashamed, embarrassed, worried, happy, sad, joyful, satisfied, guilty, scared, lonely, proud, skeptical, furious, depressed, shocked, enamored, disappointed, gloating, and surprised. A lot of you don't have social skills, and it prevents you from understanding women. The power of eyes. 18 emotions our eyes convey and what they mean. The eyes are a reflection of the mind. They give us an idea into a person's thoughts and feelings through the way they move, pupil size, and speed. Combined with words, facial expressions, and body language, eye contact is the final piece of the nonverbal communication puzzle. So you have body language, you have eye contact. These are things that matter. When you are talking to people, these are things that matter. Different types of body language. I'm not going to read all of them, but you can pause the video or go back during the replay. But you have so many things that contribute to socially awkward people. You have body language, eye contact, different types of body language, whether a woman likes you, whether she dislikes you, whether she doesn't like you, whether she's into you, whether she's not into you. It all matters. So we're going to watch another video, and then we're going to come back and we're going to get into examples of creepy behaviors.
Just clicked on this video. That means you're either curious or painfully uncomfortable.
Also, fair use. I'm going to put that out there, fair use. We're going to watch this, and then we're going to come back.
To be around. If you happen to be the latter, do not fret. Science can alleviate your troubles, including, but not limited to, awkward silence, awkward commentary, and awkward positions. 3 completely different things that can all make you want to live in a cave and never see a human face again. In fact, a study done by the University of Michigan shows that physical pain and intense feelings of awkward hurt in the same way, meaning that stubbing your toe and accidentally liking an Instagram photo from 2013 activate the same part of the brain. But that's just an awkward situation. Like say you go in for a handshake with your bro, and you and bro both use different methods. After an encounter like this,
what's up, man? What's up, Misty? What's up, Misty? How are you doing? Shout out to you. You're here from your laptop. I'm on my laptop, going live right now. I love laptops. I have a desktop computer, but I prefer a laptop. I appreciate you, as usual, stopping by on every live stream now. You're on a roll, and I appreciate it.
most people are going to openly display embarrassment. This is actually a good thing. It shows that you understand smooth social exchanges and that your failed handshake was not one of them. In fact, the worst thing you can do is be awkward without displaying that you feel awkward. Research has shown that if you have little to no reaction to an uncomfortable or awkward situation, you're seen as less trustworthy. But some people are just awkward as a person, as a whole. They're just a big ball of awkward. And there are 3 big traits that might make an awkward person awkward. Awkward trait number 1, hands. What to do with your 10 little sausages? Well, it can vary from culture to culture, but according to most experts, a good rule of thumb is if you're more open, you seem more comfortable. And if you're more closed, you seem uncomfortable. And
that's true. That is true. When I remember when I was growing up, I was in JROTC, Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. And in college, they have ROTC, which is Reserve Officer Cadet, RO, Reserve Officer Training Corps. And one of the things that I learned, because my dad was in the military, my grandfather was in the Navy, my uncle is still in the Navy. You don't put your hands in your pocket. You don't do that. And a lot of socially awkward guys, they like to put their hands in their pocket. They're like, let me put my hands in my pocket. Hide my hands. A lot of people don't know that if you hide your hands, that's kind of like deceptive. They think you're up to something. That's why people in the military or people that have been in the military never put their hands in their pocket, ever. So body language is very important. My father and grandfather were veterans too. Awesome. What branch of the military were they in, Misty? My dad was in the Marines, my grandfather was in the Navy, and my uncle he is still in the Navy, but he's a captain.
If you're uncomfortable, the people around you feel uncomfortable, making you awkward to be around. So keep your body open. The best way to do this while speaking is to keep your palms up and move them accordingly to important points in conversation. But you're not going to be waving your hands around with your palms up when the other person is talking. That'd be weird and a little scary. So what then? Again, good rule of thumb, keep your body open. That means avoid putting your hands in your pockets or folding.
I just said that. Avoid putting your hands in your pockets. Army strike. I wanted to join the Army, actually. When I was in high school, I wanted to join the Army because the Air Force, I was like, no, I don't want to fly no planes in the Air Force. But then I was going to go into the Army or the Navy, but I really wanted to go into the Marine Corps. But I had asthma when I was a kid, and then I was born with a heart defect when I was a baby growing up, and even though it was fixed, they were like, no, you can't be in the Army. So I tried to get in the Army, but they didn't let me in.
Your arms. Now, it might seem like I've just eliminated every natural thing you could possibly do with your hands, but I didn't. For example, when you're sitting, you got the hands behind the head, the chin-hand combo, or your classic armrest position. For standing, the hands behind the back is always reliable, on the hips, works in most situations, and just leaving them at your side while the other person is talking isn't necessarily bad. Awkward trait.
Respect too, Misty.
Number 2, eye contact. What you'll hear from a lot of social skill coaches is 80% eye contact, 20% eye wandering. And that's decent advice, but it's not going to apply to every situation. For example, a study at the University of Freiburg had participants do something socially inappropriate or awkward by reading off 50 instances of flaming on the internet directed at the experimenter. For half of the participants, the experimenter would hold direct eye contact, and the participants were asked to do the same. For the other half, the experimenter would look at their notes without ever looking up. By looking at heart rate, participant hesitation, and just asking, the experimenters concluded that the unbreaking eye contact significantly increased embarrassment and worsened mood. There are appropriate times and inappropriate times for eye contact.
There is. And you gotta learn. Like with eye contact, it can be very tricky. And a good rule of thumb that I've adopted for eye contact is if you're at work you know who you're working with. If you've been at a job for a year or more, you know your coworkers, whether they like eye contact, whether they don't. But a good rule of thumb is to maintain, I would say, at least 70% eye contact. But the other percent is like, you don't want to wander the eyes too much. But I particularly look at the person. Like if it's a guy, I'll look at their tie or their shirt button, or if they're wearing a hat, I'll look at their hat. Or I'll look at if they're wearing a suit, I'll look at their pocket square. If it's a woman, I'll look at her hair, or her ears, or her mouth, something like that. But especially when you're a guy talking to women, you always want to keep your gaze at the neck or above. You never want to go below the neck, because then you can get into trouble with women. And I'll just leave it at that. You will get in trouble with women. I think every guy has a story about how he looked at a woman's chest and she called him, and that was the end of the interaction.
Someone's done something awkward, forcing eye contact is going to make the situation 10 times more awkward. But if you're just in casual conversation and you don't make eye contact, you'll be seen as bored or worse, nervous. Awkward trait number 3, personal bubbles. In this society, a violation of the personal bubble is of the utmost punishable offenses. 12 to 18 inches at least, unless you're side by side. Because for some reason, pretty much everyone's bubble is more of an oval shape and extends in front more than it extends to the side. But if I can tell you what you ate for breakfast, there's a serious problem. In fact,
Right. And this is what socially awkward guys mess up on. Is they'll talk to a woman and they'll lean in too close. Let me make myself bigger. They'll lean in too close. And they'll be right up on the woman. I've seen this happen before multiple times. A guy will be talking to a woman, and the guy will be so close that the woman is like right here, and they're this close, face to face on. They're this close, they're face to face almost. They're almost touching their eyeballs. And the woman is looking at the man like, what are you doing? Because every woman that I know of or that exists, they have this look that they give a man like a death stare, and they're like, what are you doing? Oh my God, what are you doing? Their body will tense up. They maybe will cross their arms, and they'll be like, they'll give you the death stare, and that's your nonverbal signal to back off a little bit. Like, you don't have to stand so close. They be like, God, dog, I just want to talk to the man, not the man know what I had for breakfast.
By hooking people up with some wires and looking at the electrical characteristics of their skin, we can observe the closer someone you don't know very well stands, the more objectively uncomfortable your nervous system gets. In other words, the bubble needs to be respected. So we have hands, eyes, and space. But these 3 things are really just the most common examples of breaking social expectations. So is there any consistent way to score awkwardness? According to this guy, who has a PhD in awkward and has wrote a book on it, there kind of is. He claims that awkward can be measured using the Autism Spectrum Inventory. mandatory. That might sound strange, but hear me out. 26 points is required for a diagnosis, and while you might expect your average Joe to score 0, the average score is actually around 16. And Dr. Toshiro claims that anything in between these two numbers is what we perceive as awkward. He claims this because awkwardness is really just social inconsistency. I like that theory, and while it may very well be accurate, some people just get really nervous in social situations, and that nervousness can cause awkwardness. Now we're talking about social anxiety, and according to the National Library of Medicine, the most effective treatment for social anxiety is exposure. That's right, you big ball of awkward. The best way to become less scared of social interaction and subsequently less awkward is by willingly going out and being scared and awkward.
There it is. There it is. This is what I tell men all the time. If you want to stop being socially awkward, what do you have to do? You have to get out there and go out there and talk. Agree. Exactly. Exactly. You can't just sit at home playing Xbox and PS5 and Nintendo Switch 2 and custom PC games and expect to get a woman or at least talk to people. And I'm going to say this, and people may not agree. Talking online with people is not the same as talking with somebody in person. It's not. And people have fought me tooth and nail about this perspective. But my counter to that is, when you're online or when you're on Discord or WhatsApp or a dating site, like, you don't get the context. Like, you can say, shut up 3 different ways, and it means 3 different things. Like, if I know somebody, I can be like, oh, shut up. And they'll laugh. They understand the context. I'm joking. I'm not telling them to shut up. I'm joking with them. So they would respond in a positive way. But if I don't know the person, I'm like, shut up, you're going to respond in a negative way because of my tone and facial expressions. Or if we're just getting to know each other, I can say, shut your mouth, I'm tired. And you might get offended, you might not. But when you're strictly online, you're not going to get the context. So it's hard to interpret what somebody is saying when you can't speak to them. And people will argue with me tooth and nail. You don't know, online is this and everybody's online and everybody cares about online stuff. And I'm like, that's the problem. Everything was online. Exactly, Minister Misty. You're missing the context. Because if you don't know someone and they tell you, hush, you don't know what context they're saying that word in. So somebody that you know can be like, hush, and then you'll be laughing. Somebody you don't know would say, oh, hush, and you'll get mad. Somebody you're dating will be like, hush now, and you'll play a joke. The context is missing. So that's why I push, if you're going to talk to people on a serious level, it's better to talk to, even if you don't want to go out and meet people and you want to strictly meet people online, at least do video chat. Video chat is better than just texting back and forth.
awkward. A tip I would have for you, my socially anxious friend, is to focus less on yourself, what you're gonna say, or anything about you, and try and fully direct your attention onto the other person and be genuinely as interested as possible in what they have to say. When you have a question, ask. When you want them to expand on something, ask. Want to know more about their dog named Julius? Ask. Eventually, through trial and error, things will start to come naturally, and you will emerge from your awkward cocoon into a social butterfly. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Exactly. Minister Misty says nonverbal communication is greater than verbal communication. You're exactly right. You can't see their body language and misinterpret the context as you say it. That's true. Which leads me to the next phase of wrong video. Wait, hold on. Let me remove this. Okay, so that's the question. Let me put, there we go. Here we go. Creepy behaviors. How many of you watching this stream right now as a woman has been creeped out by a man? Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever been creeped out by a man or had a man exhibit creepy behaviors. Because a lot of people, they don't know. Yeah, Minister, there we go. Minister Missy says 1. I think a lot of women have had men exhibit creepy behaviors. A lot of women. And a lot of guys, they don't know that the behavior that they're doing is creepy until it's too late. Because you don't have social skills, you don't even know that what you're saying is creepy or what you're doing is creepy. Examples of creepy behaviors. Number 1, invasions of personal space. Standing too close, touching without invitation, or continuously being within someone's personal space. We all have a bubble. Just because we meet doesn't mean you get to invade my bubble unless I allow you to. Now, me, offline and in real life, I'm a funny mofo. Like, people actually like to be around me. They are drawn to me. For whatever reason it is, I don't know. But people offline in the real world are naturally drawn to me, and I don't have to do anything to draw them to me. It's probably because I'm extremely funny and I'm extremely down to earth. But I kid you not, people are just drawn to me for some reason. I don't know why, but they just are. So I've come to just accept that I'm always going to have a giant tribe of people, and that's just how it's going to be. But for some people, that's not the case. They have to work at getting to know people and getting to know other people and avoiding the creepy behavior. And I really believe it's because I understand what's creepy and what's not. So it's like, again, being in personal space, standing too close, touching without invitation. Those are things that you have to learn over time. But you have to understand that people, when they're getting to know you, they have a bubble. And we've all gotten in trouble for this. Inappropriate staring. We've all, if you're a guy, Put a 1 in the chat if you've gotten caught staring at a woman's rear end or chest area. Because we've all done it. I've done it. You've done it. We've all done it. A prolonged, intense gaze that can make others feel uncomfortable or watched, especially when it continues after being noticed. Now, some people grow out of that, but some people don't. They're just socially awkward. Now, stalking or following, this is where we get to the extremes and where women talk about they don't feel safe around men. So, stalking or following, monitoring someone's movements or appearing in the same places that they are at the same time. Or social disconnect, laughing at unpredictable times, muttering to themselves, or displaying inappropriate or too little emotion. And I'm going to tell a story as I normally do. There was this guy that I used to live with, and I talk about him a lot on my videos and on live streams because he was a socially awkward guy. So there was a time when he went out on a date with a woman, and I guess he got to the restaurant before the date, and he was kind of talking to himself outside of the restaurant before the date. So the date is walking up to the restaurant, and he's at the restaurant. She is walking up to the restaurant, and he is talking to himself like there's somebody else there. And that creeped her out, so she turned around, went back to her car, and left. And then there was another time where he went on a date, and I guess he was muttering to himself at the table between the waiter coming to get their food order and then leaving, and there was awkward silence. And then he was just muttering to himself. And then she excused herself and said, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then she left the date. Like she left. So it's important for men to avoid, like women are not, I don't understand. Women are some of the most easiest people to talk to. You just gotta treat them like they're a human being. They're not unicorns that fly in the air and they spread pixie dust whenever they walk around, and they're not like forbidden creatures that only the elite of the world get to talk to. And I think where the social awkwardness for men comes from is it's because they're not confident because they don't have their lives together. They really don't have their lives together. I'm gonna play that video again. Part of the video of me again. This is like an old video of me from TikTok. And I'm gonna play part of it. I'm not gonna play all of it. This was an old video. This is a 2-year-old video, but the concept is still the same.
A lot of men, you're just losers.
I haven't changed because I'm the same way I was 2 years ago. And I'll tell you that I haven't changed a bit. And this video was from 2 years ago.
Incels, beta males, MGTOWs, that cannot get women, and you're blaming women for your own issue. And you've become that way over time. Like, nobody is born a loser. You become a loser. And the reason why I say this is because there are so many men out there that just don't get it. They don't take no for an answer. They don't understand women. They don't have game. They don't have these social skills. Because when you talk about game, it's deeper than just gaming up a woman. It involves your hygiene, your social skills, who you are, how do you present yourself to the world. So if you're a guy, you have no fashion sense, you present yourself to the world in a bad way, you don't have game, you have more things working against you than for you. Not
Yep. That 2 years ago, and that is still true today. That's why I do what I do. Because what I'm saying is still relevant today. I made that video 2 years ago, and here I am 2 years later doing a more in-depth version of the video that I did 2 years ago. That's how much that's why so many things. If you understand one thing from this live stream, understand this. The principle and the foundation never changes. You can build a house or a building or a studio or whatever, but the concepts, the foundation, the building blocks will never change. They will never, ever change. So now, unwanted focus, steering conversations towards sensitive topics like SCX, repeatedly asking for personal details, or focusing intensely on one individual in a group. Don't do that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of men, they go on dates with women for the sole purpose of SCX, or to shag, or to get a woman, or to bed a woman, or whatever they want to do. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen naturally. You don't have to force it. And a lot of people try and force SCX to happen, and that's why it doesn't happen. The woman is already turned on by you. You just gotta not mess it up. But when you purposely steer a conversation into that direction, it turns the woman off like clockwork. Here we go with the social cues. Disregarding social cues, not recognizing or accepting signs of disinterest from another person, and continuing to engage with them regardless. Intrusive communication, sending unwanted messages repeatedly or pressuring someone even after rejection. A woman says no, you're like, well, you can't have friends, can you? A woman's like, I'm not interested. But what about what about you got an Instagram? You got a Facebook? Like, dude, that's why women don't like you. Because you're trying to force yourself on a woman who's already said no. Aggressive physically, making unwanted advances, attempting physical contact when inappropriate, or displaying physical behaviors that are predatory. Don't do that. And see, here's some signs that a woman finds you creepy. This has happened to me before. Avoidance. She may avoid eye contact, turn her body away from you, or try to distance herself physically. Short responses. If she gives one-word answers or seems uninterested in engaging in conversation, it could indicate discomfort. Fellas, when you're out with a woman or when you're getting to know a woman and you're texting her, let me make myself bigger. If you're texting a woman and you text her and she only texts back, okay, or she just doesn't text back at all, leave it alone. Don't be the guy that double texts and triple texts and text messages her all day, and there's 20 messages from you and only one from her, because women don't like that. Women will run from you if you're like that. My rule with texting anybody is that if I text you and you don't text back within at least 72 hours, don't expect another text from me until you text me. And I feel like that's a good rule of thumb. You text a woman, and if they don't text you back within 3 days, leave it alone. They're not into you. Or if you text a woman and she gives you these BS one-word answers, or she says, oh, I just saw this text message, and you text her at like 9 in the morning and it's like 8 p.m. the same day, and she tells you, I just saw this message, that's her way of saying, you're not a priority for me. I'm going to get to you when I get to you. So what do? You treat her the same way. You reciprocate that energy. If she's uninterested in you, you return that same energy and you be uninterested in her. Simple. And it's going to take some practice, because back in the day when I was younger, I was the guy that would double text and triple text and blow a woman's phone up. But then I learned as I got older and more mature that you don't need to do that. Like, I used to be that guy who would triple text, and women would tell me like, bro, you're doing too much. And I didn't understand until I got older. And then I was like, daggone it, I ruined the relationship, or I ruined an interaction, but it was a learning experience. And that's all it is. It's a learning experience. So, number 2, short responses. I think I already read that one. If she gives one-word answers or seems uninterested in engaging in conversation, it could indicate discomfort, nervous behavior. Fidgeting, looking around for an exit, or frequently checking her phone can signal that she feels uneasy. Lack of initiative, we just talked about this. If she never initiates conversation or interactions, it may suggest that she is not interested. Negative body language, such as crossing her arms, leaning away, or turning her back, can indicate that she feels threatened or uncomfortable. Explicit signals. She might directly tell you to stop or express that she feels uncomfortable. And see, this is why men need game. We're at the meat of the conversation now. We need game. And what is game? Game is the ability to talk to others, or the gift of game. It's really the ability to be social, talk to others, relate to others, and not be socially awkward. And a lot of guys, their IQ is off the charts. You're smart. You're intelligent. You read books. You've been to college. But that EQ gets you every time. That emotional quotient gets you every time. So where did I learn the game? We're going to talk about where I learned game and about women and everything that I learned in the early 2000s about women is right here. For those of you who think that Kevin Samuels was the first one, absolutely not. Kevin Samuels was not the first guy to talk about game, women, social, everything. Tariq Nasheed was the first one, at least for me, that taught men about game. He actually used to have a radio show that I would listen to called the Matt Lessons Radio Show. And he would do a show every Wednesday night. Every Wednesday night, you would go on, I forget what it was called. It was before YouTube came out. It was, it wasn't Blog Talk Radio. It was another, I believe it was on this website. So he would talk about game, the Mac Lessons Radio Show. And he would talk about talking to women, getting to know them, not being socially awkward, talking to people, talking to women, what to accept, what not to accept. And then he wrote books. Yeah, I had no idea. And yeah, Tariq Nasheed, like now, he's a whole different person. This was years ago, way back in the day. Way back in the day. This was before the African history and the FBA and all that. But Tariq Nasheed, he talked about game. Right, he is. He is different now. I don't listen to him now. Now, I'm like, I enjoyed the Black history and Hidden Colors and all that. And I remember years ago he had a beef with Dr. Umar Johnson. But back before all that, he was teaching game. He was out before Kevin Samuels because he actually got his game from a white guy named Tom Likas and OG Pimps in Los Angeles. Right, King Flex. Yeah, King Flex, right. King Flex. I actually used to have these books. I need to find them. But I had The Mac Within and The Art of Macking. And one of the things that I liked about these books is they would teach you about game, but it was about honesty. It was about if you wanted to just be nasty with a woman, just be honest. If you wanted to date a woman and then just be nasty with her. Be honest. That's the one thing that both Kevin Samuels and Tariq Nasheed preached about. They were like, honesty. Honesty is always the best policy. So this is where I sat down and I was like, I'm going to be a student of the game. And then there's an OG pimp that still does YouTube shows even today. And his name is Rosebud. Shout out to Rosebud. But I was just watching Rosebud today because he does like a YouTube channel about knowing the game and teaching the game. So the game is still relevant. Like, you still need game in order to talk to women. Like, getting a woman in today's time without having game is almost impossible. So EQ versus IQ. So EQ is empathy, motivation. Never heard of him. Yeah, he's like an OG pimp from Los Angeles that used to be a real life pimp that had women. And then he stopped being an OG pimp and started, I think he was an OG pimp for years. And then he got married and then he left the game, but he still carries on the tenets of the game even today. But empathy, motivation, self-reflection, manage relationships, social awareness, self-control. IQ is analysis, know-how, technological expertise. Concept and design, critical thinking, patterns, and logic. And this is where guys mess up. They don't have communication, they don't have team building, and they don't have conflict resolution. Because when you're dealing with game and people, you need communication. Your communication has to be on point. Because when you're communicating with people, they have to know, okay, how do you communicate? What's your communication style? Do you deal with teams? People that are socially awkward suck when it comes to team building activities. They don't like to work in a team. And then last but not least is conflict resolution. A lot of people that are socially awkward don't like conflict resolution because they can't do it. So what are some ways that you can get better with women? I'm going to tell you. What are some ways that you can get better with women? Number one, if you're on a date with a woman who's not talking, what are you going to do? Many men will start talking and keep talking until she's turned on. Most men don't get this, but one of the biggest turnoffs in relationships is men that talk more than women. You don't need to out-talk the woman. And I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to give you some truth. A lot of the time when you're on a date with a woman, she will tell you what you need to talk about by just listening. Just listen. Ask her about her day. Listen. She will tell you what it is that you need to ask if you just listen to what she's saying. How was your day? Well, my day was stressful because I had a horrible day at work. Then you can say, well, now that your horrible day is over, you're here with me, and this day will make your night better. Bam! There you go. Easy one-liner. That's very easy because the woman will tell you what you need to tailor your game to. If she had a hard day at work, mention the day and how it's going to make her feel better and relax and be in good company with you. That's game. Or let's say the woman says, well, I had a rough day, but I got a promotion at work. Then you can crack a joke. Oh, so you rolling in the money now, dollar bills, y'all. Funny. Women like a guy that's funny. So you make her feel at ease by making her laugh, and there you go. So instead of focusing on what you're going to say or talk about, you need to make it safe for a woman to talk more. That's the key. If you don't even have to talk that much, let the woman talk. She will tell you everything you need to know. And here's why. Women need to have the communication so they can feel attraction. When you talk more than she does, it sabotages the romance. A woman's ability to feel interest in you requires knowing that you provide something she needs. And what she needs is a man who sees her, hears her, and feels affection for her. More importantly, it makes it safe for her. That allows her to open up and develop the feeling that would lead to a relationship. So when you're getting to know a woman, your job as the man is to make her feel safe, make her feel secure, make her feel wanted, understood. So when she's on that date with you, she can kick off her shoes, let her hair down, and relax. And last but not least, 3 simple ways to get her to express herself and fall for you. We're going to talk about those 3 ways. Number 1, if you notice that you're talking more than her, stop. Stop. When you stop, it's because you want to create that space for her to talk more. The more that the woman talks, the more she's going to be comfortable with you. The more she's comfortable with you, the more that she is able to let her hair down and be safe. The more she feels safe, the more she's going to want to date again. The more that she's going to want to say, let me invite you in the house tonight. Y'all understand? If you make a woman feel safe, she'll be like this. She'll be like this lady from Boomerang. Y'all ever seen that movie Boomerang? This is going to be her at the end of the night when you make her feel safe. Hold on.
Are going to turn down a pussy like this, staring you smack in your face.
She's gonna be like that at the end of the night, like Boomerang. That was my favorite part of the movie. She's gonna be like her And so let me play. I'm gonna play that again because it's funny as hell. She's gonna be like this.
Are going to turn down a pussy like this, staring you smack in your face.
That's 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 how she's gonna be at the end of the night. That's not my favorite part. What's your favorite part of Boomerang? Misty. Many others, right? But that's how women will be. If you make that woman feel safe and you make that woman comfortable and you allow her to let her hair down, she is going to want you so much. Like, she's gonna be smelling your cologne, looking at your outfit, and she is gonna be like, you're gonna look like a steak meal that she wants to devour. Dinner scene. Right. That's a good scene. That's a good scene too. The dinner scene. It's been a while since I've seen Boomerang, but that part was one of my favorites. But that's how women will be, and a few others. Right. Boomerang is a great movie. But it's like, if you make a woman feel safe on a date and you get her into her comfort zone with you and you allow her to let her hair down and kick her feet up and take her shoes off and be real comfortable, she'll be like, you want to go? You want to come home with me tonight? She will invite you into her place without you doing anything. And that's what a lot of these beta males and socially awkward guys don't understand. That Courtney bang bang. Right. That's but it's like, that's what will happen if you let a woman be herself and you just let her be in the comfort zone. I need to remove this. If you just let a woman be in her comfort zone, ask more questions. Well, here we go. Ask a question, listen, and pause before responding. You might ask a question of her and then she comments, but instead of commenting back right away and taking up the whole space, hold back. Think about it. Do you hear and understand what she's trying to tell you? And then last but not least, ask more questions to get her to talk more. This is what will make her feel safe. And you can ask or say, help me understand that better. Tell me more. What's your experience been? Where did you first start thinking about that? Yeah, Marcus. That's another one. I'm gonna edit that one just for you. That whenever you come and watch my live stream, as soon as you leave a comment, I'm gonna play that clip when she said Marcus. And see, in conclusion, it's important to realize that women are not rejecting. It's not that women have high standards. It's not that women have outlandish requests. Sometimes they do. Let's not get it twisted. Sometimes they do. But a lot of the times, it's because you're socially awkward. And it's time for men to stop being socially awkward and start understanding where these issues lie so that we can fix the issue. Because if we fix the issue, we can fix relationships and we can fix the divide between men and women. But anyway, it's almost 9 o'clock. That's going to be it for tonight's live stream. Thank you all for coming out. Don't forget, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Tickle that notification bell. That will let you know whenever I upload content. I'm probably going to put out a video Sunday, a new long form video. If you haven't seen my newest video that just came out on yesterday, go ahead to my channel after this live and watch my newest video. The newest video I did was, it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before yesterday. Black men aren't leaving their kids. The real statistics. And I go into the statistical data behind the so-called deadbeat dad narrative. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. Check out my shorts. I just uploaded one right before I went live around 6 p.m. So far, that short's doing good. But I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a safe and restful weekend, and I will see you in my new video Sunday afternoon. Peace out, everybody. Everybody have a great weekend. Peace. I will see you next stream, Misty.
Phones ready to unload. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid back beat and smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype.